Francis here, back on TYT Sports now. The dust is kind of settled. I'm still in the same outfit I was earlier on, which means I'm shooting this video right after because I wanted to now discuss Cristiano Ronaldo in a little bit more depth, right? I know most people are now posing the question, that unbelievable question, that question that everyone asks and that wants to be answered. Is Cristiano Ronaldo now the best footballer we've ever seen? No. Alright, get that done with. No, he's not. Lionel Messi still is, but there is now another layer to the argument that you could make against Lionel Messi, because now the international stage has been somewhat conquered by Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, knowing Cristiano Ronaldo as the person that he is put forward as, this determined individual that takes such good care of his body and is just an all-round athletic phenomenon, this won't be enough for him in order to leave his legacy at Portugal. He would want a World Cup, but I don't think that he will get it. I think that this is the ceiling in which he'll reach for Portugal, but it is a great ceiling. It's a ceiling that many phenomenal footballers in Portuguese jerseys have never been able to do. Luis Figo, Deco, Eusebio, phenomenal footballers that are great ambassadors to the sport, but they haven't been able to deliver for their country. Their first ever major tournament was delivered when they had a person that was in the argument. Person that was in the argument for who's the best ever. Lionel Messi now, whilst he's retired, from what we can see, will never have that over Ronaldo. So it does pose that question a little bit more. I mean, I think that it's more about the accolades. I've always told you guys this on TYT Sports. I've always talked about how if you measure someone just on accolades, and you'll get people in there that, according to your methodology, or according to the way you categorize it, they're in the argument. Sergio Ramos won a World Cup and he's won a Champions League. Does that mean he's the best defender of all time? I don't think so. Zinedine Zidane's won both. I think he's in the argument as well. There's a bunch of different examples who are in the argument. I mean, Jimmy Traore once won a Champions League and then played League 2 football 2 or 3 seasons ago. So football is a funny game. But if you're going to base it just on accolades, then you're going to be there all night, weighing up many different options. I think that Lionel Messi, to settle the argument once again, the way that he brings others into play, the way that he is at a disadvantage with his body, is still able to go and just obtain greatness and break records and just be winning the most Ballon d'Ors for individual accolades, winning a ridiculous amount of Champions Leagues for his team and La Liga titles for Barcelona. He's just the greatest footballer we've seen, individually, collectively, as a team. On the international stage, it can even be a different category. Maradona's the best we've seen on the international stage. He was able to basically take his team from what I've seen, I've got more of a recency bias now, but take his team to a different level of greatness using his phenomenal ability. So there's many different categories, but I gives myself a headache trying to think about it. But the reason why I wanted to do this clip on Ronaldo is because if people were curious before where he ranked, he cemented himself. Now I think is the second best footballer of all time. That's still a phenomenal accolade to add to your name. It's just unfortunate that he was playing in the same time as an alien who is just of a different breed. But people will use the Argentina argument against Messi, and now it can somewhat hold. It can hold some weight. People can't really argue by it because Ronaldo now has done it, and he didn't even need to be on the field. So let me get into that conversation. There is petty people out there now who's arguing that, see, it's not even a real title for Ronaldo. He wasn't even on the park. Are you just overlooking his 2 goals against Hungary that dragged them from the depths of elimination? Are you just looking away from his phenomenal header against Wales that took them beyond a frustrating point in that game? These all contribute. I'm not saying it's solely his competition. I think that Pepe has been more important to Portugal than Ronaldo has been at times. But it is a team sport. Back when Maradona and Pele would play, I can honestly say that I don't have first-hand experience. I'm not Benjamin Button. But either way, I think that back then individual brilliance had more of a platform to show through. I think that collectively now football has become more of a team sport. Teams can defend for their life and win competitions. Point and example in case and point and case and point and point and example. Chelsea, Portugal, Inter Milan. Teams have defended their way to titles now. So to rely on individual talent anymore just isn't enough. Argentina have proven that. They've got great attacking talent, but they fall short against teams like Chile, who are able to just hold such a great defensive framework and frustrate their opponents. They couldn't do it against Germany, who structurally, mechanically, were just better than them. So now the conversation is, What does individual brilliance add to a team? It takes a team that shouldn't win. Portugal on paper shouldn't have won this competition. But Ronaldo's individual brilliance at times helped them. His leadership helped them win it. So therefore, yes, he is now in the conversation. You can now make a better argument for him being the greatest of all time, but I still won't agree, and many people won't, but many people will. And that's just the whole beauty of sports and the beauty of perspectives and the beauty of opinions. That's why we love this sport. So yeah, you can make the argument now, but it still, for me, doesn't hold up to the level that Lionel Messi's at. But I'm not going to sit here and argue back with you, because you now have another layer to your argument. You now have another added accolade. So, but now to move forward to Cristiano a little bit. So from tears of pain and just sheer heartache from everyone that was a real football fan, I'll reiterate my tweet. You're not a football fan if you don't find that sad. If you aren't hurting to see one of the world's best not able to perform and participate. And who knows? If he played, they might have lost. If they played, they might have won in 90 minutes. You just don't know. That's the beauty of football. But as Griezmann summarised it, it's harsh, but it's magnificent. And therefore, it was magnificent to see him so distraught, but then see tears of joy, because he's every bit as responsible for that trophy as everyone else in that tournament. He played his part. Are you trying to tell me that Roy Keane doesn't deserve a Champions League winners medal because he didn't play the final game against Bayern Munich in that historic win? He played his part against Juventus in the semi-final. These are asinine arguments from people that don't like Cristiano Ronaldo. And I won't hear those arguments, because I think that he did play a part. His leadership shone through. He was confident in Adair's ability. Adair said that Cristiano told him he could score. Sometimes it's just that little bit of encouragement, that little bit of confidence that's enough to get someone out of their shell. And it was a great goal. Did unbelievable to find space and put it in the back of the net. The coach, Santos, deserves this. If you're handing out little pieces to the middle, they're going to have nothing left, because it's going to be handed out to every single player on that team. Rui Patricio in goals, phenomenal. Pepe, great. But Santos, as soon as he took over, Pepe said he gave us two objectives. One, qualify for the Euros, and two, win it. And he couldn't have done that without Cristiano Ronaldo. So Ronaldo's legacy will live on, and he will be a hero in Portugal. He's already a statue erected of him. Maybe there's another one of him lifting the trophy, because it's their first ever tournament. You can't look away from the facts, and you can't turn a blind eye to it. Yes, he was injured. Yes, he didn't get to physically participate as long as he would have wanted. But are you really going to hold that against him? The guy tried, and tried again. But unfortunately, it was the kiss of the moth that turned him away at the very end. Jesus, the internet needs chill, by the way. 12 or 13 moth accounts in the first minute of it landing on his face. What are you doing? Do you get any other spare time? There's things that you should be doing if you're watching the game. Like, watch it. Don't create a moth parody account. Jesus Christ. Either way, it's now his legacy is just, it's another chapter to it. Another chapter that no one can take away from him, no matter how hard you try. So the next question is, we're going to keep talking about Ronaldo a little bit more. I don't know where we're going to go with it, but we'll keep talking. Because that's the freedom of being on a great channel and talking to you guys this about some unbiased perspective. How serious is the injury, and what does this do for his career? We don't know the seriousness yet. Once we do, I'm sure we'll do another clip. But when you are one of the world's best footballers and you take such great care of your body like Ronaldo does and avoid, for the majority, major injuries, sometimes when you get that major injury, it starts to sway the pendulum in another direction. It starts to symbolise a different way that he's going to play his game. I mean, I've seen a shift in Ronaldo's game in the last 2 years. I've seen him more focused on in-the-box penetration. I've seen him more focused on movement off the ball to create space so that he doesn't have to go and grab it as deep and do those majestic things that he used to do. So I think you might see another change in his game. The guy is a phenomenal specimen of a footballer. He takes great care of his body. That's why I relate him so much so to LeBron James. But LeBron James gets an injury out of the Game 7 finals. He's gonna second guess what he's doing. What's he doing differently, right? People are saying that Payet's tackle was aggressive. I don't think so. I think it was a clash of knees. I think it was unfortunate. These things happen in football. But Ronaldo, who relies so much on his athletic ability, you can only pose the question now, what does this do to him? Like, how serious is it? If it's not that serious and it's just a knock, great, comes back, things go back to normal. But from the way his knee looked, I'm not going to sit here and speculate a long injury. He's got time now to rest, but Real Madrid will be looking at him to step back into that role that he has performed so well for the last few years. So it'll be interesting to see how this adjusts his club performance and how it adjusts him as a person. So we'll see. I mean, he's going to enjoy the night, and he rightfully so. He's done a great job with Portugal, stood by a team that many people have written off in many different occasions, and now he's got them to the highest accolade that they have ever obtained. So I can only congratulate him for that. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for staying true to TYT Sports, coming in, helping us to get to 300,000, hopefully get to the next 400,000 a lot quicker than we got to the 300,000, then on to 500,000. Sky's the limit. If Portugal can win the Euros after 6 draws and 1 win within 90 minutes, and Leicester can win the Premier League, there is nothing TYT Sports can't do. Francis Maxwell on Twitter, and I'll see you guys soon.